topic: how to manage this class that you will have beginners and intermediate in the same class. How you will manage uh, to do the class in a proper way. So for now we have three options that can make you think and meditate about what is happening and what we can do, solve, react, and help in our community to our students that we will have in our classes. The first one is maybe a little bit rough, but we think is true, is to place every person in the level that they need to be. If someone believes that is intermediate and we very after our own meditation watching these people is like they need to go to beginner, because it's not just one step that they're missing, but that they are missing, but the technique, the body awareness, the etc etc. I will invite in a very good way that person to change the class, because I'm thinking the way we are thinking, sorry, the way that person is going to learn. I mean, we neither want that person lose the money, even though it's money for us. We don't want that person lose the money, because it's okay, we split, you are intermediate, which is the problem in here, that they will not pay attention, some of them, because they will believe that they will have to go to the beginners class. And the beginners, if they are, or they feel that they are in an intermediate class, okay, and they will say, no, I need to be I cannot be in this class because, and they leave. So you lose also a person that wants to be a beginner, that wants to learn from scratch. If you go into just intermediate steps or going into the level above of that person should feel maybe stressed and will leave. So our first approach is to try to make them understand and select, and wish we will have that discipline in the future, because it happens with salsa. There are some festivals that they do a pre-casting to place the students in the right level for the festival. So they do pre-casting, pre-festival, so people can enjoy the classes in the festival in the right level. But people sometimes they don't trust, or it's a little bit about the ego of, oh, you have, but that, and they will say, I've been going to classes 2 years. And we can say, yeah, but still you need some tools. You need to understand that you need to have some tools that you don't have right now. Maybe because of the teacher you were learning with, or maybe because you didn't practice too much, or you don't dance a lot, or the community is not close to create some gathering together just with the beginners. This type of things, this awareness is important to make them know. Exactly with the intermediates. Intermediates, they are intermediates, they are not advanced, and so on. Okay, it has to be very clear. Second option, we can have a class with intermediate and beginners. Would we separate them? We separate them, so we will need to have at least two persons leading the class to split, but you talk about what you can do and do kind of different classes, but in a right spot to have a motivation for the beginners to reach to the intermediate part, and the intermediate to say, oh, I don't know and everything, thinking I am an intermediate, but I also can understand things from the basic. But for that, that third option will be, you will need to create a new methodology or something extra in your methodology to not just split the group, but what you create with the beginners is going to fit in the explanation of the intermediate. And what you do in intermediate is going to fit in the explanation of the beginners. Okay? So you will make a connection, basics connection. Technical way, basic steps, you do woman Saida. Okay, and you explain for beginners, you explain the position, the distance, the axis control, how you lead. But the intermediates, they should know that. Because of they should know that, then you start to create dynamics into that woman Saida and create a little extra step that they can mix on that woman Saida. You can create with the dynamics some slow motion or some touches in the process, being intermediate, if they know about the touch and slow motion. If you want to go a little bit more, you can go into the elevation process. But explaining features from beginners so they can be related to the explanation of the axis control, of the weight transfer, but based on that dynamic that they are doing. If you do touch, you explain the weight transfer, a whole weight transfer for the woman Saida, but on the intermediate, you explain that you don't have to put the whole weight transfer in the touch, that allows you to come back with the same foot, forward, backward, cross, different orientations. But also you can create an elevation from there. So you will need to create some information, some methodology that is going to be in a motivational way for both. That the intermediate will say, oh, this explanation from the beginners is very important for me. Now I understand how to do the elevation. They haven't do the elevation, but with this explanation, they understood how to do a good elevation. But this information of the axis control is a good way for the weight transfer when you do the 3-4 in the woman Saida. 3-4, the connection with the leg, and then the connection with the left leg of the follower, looking for that connection again, weight transfer. You switch a little bit the line to come back. So you need to understand that axis control, transfer of weight. So that's also a very important tool that you can use. And with this but, we open a parenthesis in here for questions still here, because there is another very important thing that we're going to finish with in this part of how to mix and make the best we can class that can be mixed with intermediates and beginners and intermediates.
Adapted.
Adapted, exactly. Question still here? No. Okay, so we continue then. But also it's very important, very, very, very for us. But every time as a teacher, so we want to share as a teacher your culture, the country you are teaching in, because the energy they come to class is different. As we explain, and we are going to jump a little bit to the festivals because our main approach is to your local classes, your hometown classes. But in festivals, when you go to different countries, is very different. You feel the energy and it's totally different. When you are in your country now, having the same energy of the festivals, about the culture, about the energy, is different to do a class, for example, in Russia, that to do a class in Spain. I understand that Russian people, they have a good discipline. Russian people, they can have fun and they also go to class to have fun, but they are going to pay attention. They're going to introduce, they have extra discipline. Spanish people normally, more percentage, they want to come to have fun. So the way you teach, they need to have fun to learn. In Russia, if you or one of you give class in Russia, you can teach and then they can have fun. Different approach. In Latin America, like Caterina, people they love to dance. Anything. Anything. And they're like, oh, let's practice this, let's do this. There's a, for example, in reggaeton, there's a new step they create, and the whole community they will learn the step. Papi, papi, papi chulo. If they create some steps for that song, they will do. And all people, like African community. African community, they are very, very good dancers in Afrobeat, Kuduro, Afro House. They have names for the steps and they know the name and they do the step because of the name. And the whole community, they know, even though they don't take classes. So you can teach them choreographies in a very fast way. So the awareness is going to be then, okay, let's do a choreography. So that will bring body control, body awareness, then do this in couple. Oh, we use first the individual part. So you will need to move puzzles also depending on what you feel from the energy of people coming to your classes. And as in marketing, you will need to try, will need to do tests. Now, for example, our 3 hour session, we have a 3 hour session for our local students in here. 3 hours. But we do everything based on one topic on those 3 hours.
It's gradual.
Exactly. But the first thing we do is individual repetition for a little different little choreographies. But that will bring awareness in coordination, in weight transfer. So what we are doing is creating the combinations based on the technique methodology, but based on what we did in what we are doing in the individual choreography, because they have a lot of fun. They like they don't have this but they are getting the body awareness because of the repetition of playing music and doing the step. So we found the way to start. We start with the meditation part, so people calm down, because normally they come like classes at 8, they are leaving the job 7:45, so they are like fun, so they come with a lot of stress. So what we do is calm down them and then go into the individual part, the choreography. Oh, they calm down, nice. Stress is a little bit away, a little bit or totally. And then it's like, okay, we do a reset so they can go into individual. I don't want nobody now to my side. I want to enjoy myself. We bring that awareness. You are here to enjoy yourself, then we bring that energy to the couple part and the technical part. And it's working. Even in the festivals, we are trying that. And people, they
get engaged really
yeah,
quick.
exactly. And we try this, we were trying this in open festival. And we were like, oh, we should do this that we are doing in class because it's new. Oh, let's do it. We do it twice, and people they stay the whole class, both of them. So I'm like, okay, when sometimes you have a new student that is coming to your class, and you see the face like, I think he's not liking the class, maybe he's not going to stay, maybe he's going to leave, and you need to call their attention. But then that person comes like, oh, I love the exercise you did, I have so much fun. And you're like, okay, click, having fun. That person stays. So maybe that's a hook. I will try to do some different exercises with that approach of having fun. Good. What happens, Sergey? Cool. Okay. With this approach. Okay. So you need to to read and understand how the community works as well in your hometown. In here, for example, it's very common. People sometimes we have low level in some dances because some teachers the approach is just to have fun. The part of the technical part they explain, yes, but they start to talk in class, have conversation on topics, then they dance, then they make fun of this, they make one exercise, done. When they finish class, oh, let's go to the bar, let's have some beers and some snacks before going home. Oh, weekends, let's gather together to go to have lunch and walk in this city, and then we can dance at night. People they don't they is to go to dance at night is not the main purpose. It's to have fun with the dinner, talking with people, sharing with people because they come also to meet people. So there is a big tradition about that in Spain, about making them feel like together, and that's what they need. And sometimes they've been dancing. I experienced that years ago. Some of the classes they have this. They have been dancing for 3 years, and I see the classes. I'm like, God, they're not learning. They're having a lot of fun, but 3 years the same. But they have fun. They're still there. But if you know or understand how to use that energy for the benefit of the information and the learning process, it's going to be good as well.
Catherine has a question.